Other brands like Maxpedition still make ingenuitive essentials, such as the roly-poly, and even this kind of roll-up backpack, and even the mini pocket organizer, which I use for my wallet. And when I need proven, durable, small add-ons, I use Maxpedition. But when I want a bag, like a serious one, I go for Hazard 4s, especially the higher-end models, because they seem to have more end-user possibilities. MOLLE webbing on more locations, more carabiner clip points, and more ways to be carried, modified, etc. The flat design makes it a little bit better than something like the Evac Plan B or the Photo Recon, Takedown, Tonto, etc. because it stays close to the body. The shoulder strap, the MOLLE webbing is kind of high up, and so when you wear it, if you are a stockier individual, you're going to find that, like for example, I have this flashlight mounted, it won't face forward, it's kind of pointing upward. It would help if this MOLLE was down here. Instead, they chose to keep this kind of emergency release buckle that locks kind of high up. And I think it would be better actually down here, and so that I could utilize more of the webbing right here. Now the build quality on these more expensive Hazard 4s is immediately noticeable. The Switchback feels much nicer than the Evac Plan B. It has more rigidity. Inside each pocket, there's more details, lots of organization. You can see some subtle details like these really nice features that all these straps should have, where you can Velcro it to kind of keep it from being loose. It's really nice, keeps it nice and clean. Even on this outside pocket, they have a zipper that you can lock. And there's a very nice, attractive padded section for electronics. Now, a flaw to the construction of this bag, though, is that the MOLLE webbing can be a little inconsistent. Slight stitching variations. So sometimes MOLLE attachments that should fit may not go into every single one of these straps. The admin section is nice. I've turned mine into sort of a little first aid kit, even have a little patch to identify it. And you can see these straps sometimes do get in the way. You can see for me, I'm having a hard time seeing what's over here. Despite this being the setup of a Switchback, this being fully packed, I can't see. Overall, this pocket's a little too flat, so it doesn't really fit anything other than small items, but I can still get an emergency blanket in here, some Gorilla Grip gloves, wound seal. I have a hand sanitizer. I have a Combat Quick, one of those Z-Gauze pads that clot, a little mask, a body warmer, some gauze pads, tweezers. So it still fits a decent amount. Now the top panel has a nice padded rubber grip for long hauls, but transporting the bag using this method isn't very convenient depending on your height, and it also kind of defeats the purpose of it being a backpack, but it's still a nice feature to have when your shoulder is getting tired. Now a solid design feature is the bag has security straps, and to help prevent basically the entire bag from coming open, you can see here the main compartment is zipped right here, but let's say for example that zipper were to give out, a person can use these security straps there's 4 of them to kind of keep everything tightly packed, keep the contents basically closer to your body. I made this similar mod on my Evac Plan B using some straps from the Venture Pack, also by Hazard 4. So it's nice to see the Switchback incorporate these ideas and have them built in. And they also can be useful for holding things like perhaps your tripod, your tools, blanket. The actual main strap is done right, and it's connected to the main body. And for those of you who actually look for this, the laptop section right here, you can see it's ahead of this strap. So the strap is connected to the main entire bag. Same thing down here. So you don't have to worry if this were to come open, the whole bag basically fall off and fall backwards. Unlike the Evac Plan B, which can be utilized for perhaps ammo or things like that, tools, and it kind of is more comfortable to wear on your side, the Switchback is still kind of bulky to be worn in front like this. But it does still try to strike a balance by keeping this ability to be switched to the front, which is important when you're traveling in crowded areas like subways or stations because you want to keep a watch of all your belongings. One of the nice features about this bag is in the main compartment there's mounting points for a divider, and so that's really nice because it's available through Hazard 4, and let's say you have that and you have the bulk of your clothes behind that divider, then when you are traveling about, you don't have to worry about like everything being revealed or everything coming out. You can just kind of access just this main part right here, and all this would be held in by that divider, which also has MOLLE webbing. So that would be possible for some tactical things like a knife, perhaps a gun. The main thing this bag does a better job at, compared to the evac Plan B, is it's more of a stable backpack, especially to walk around with, because it is a flatter packed profile. It leans against your own back, and it kind of stays more stationary. And with the side straps keeping everything packed in, and you even have this additional kind of cross strap back here, I would say it's very secure. And it feels close to my center of mass. Unlike the evac Plan B or Photo Recon, those two bags, the shoulder strap, it's centered down the top, and then you can choose which side you mount it to. So it doesn't matter if you want to wear it on your left shoulder or your right. But on the Switchback, it's permanently attached to one side, which can cause a lot of fatigue over long periods of time with no option to switch. And it doesn't accommodate left-handed people. Fully packed, it's hard to see what's in the main compartment. I can only see what's in that zipper section up front. Let's see on this part right here, this section over here. If you are thinking specifically you want a bag that you can access and function with when it's facing in front of you, you might want to look at the Recon, the Photo Recon, or the evac Plan B. But if you want a backpack that can kind of mesh between those two worlds, then the Switchback is definitely a good choice. Inside I have quite a lot of clothing. I have one set here, a jacket, a very durable shirt, a pair of jeans, inside a waterproof bag, and that's because if I'm caught in the rain, I need a dry set of clothes for replacements, which is crucial. There's a spare bag here, which I have for laundry, like dirty laundry when you're traveling about. All these are the Sea to Summit brand, very durable. And you can see I've packed objects like a 18-ounce stainless steel flask, which kind of goes with the theme of being flat packed. And even here, this right now is another pair of jeans, a shirt. I have a beanie in here, boxers, splint. But even with the flask, if I was to travel with this, I would recommend at minimum one max position roly-poly. There are two pockets. This one would fit only something like maybe a Capri Sun or a soda. On this side though, funny enough, it's on the side that's more hard for me to reach. And on this side, which is actually, I have to take the bag off to access, is one that actually can fit a water bottle. Has a little strap here to hold it in that you loop through one of the MOLLE. You're going to need more hydration. They have pictures where you can put one of those water bladders, and then you can weave the straw. There's a zipper port right here, and there's also a little Velcro strap which has a section that you can put stuff through here. So there's lots of options. You can run the straw down correct over the front. So you can see with all this first aid, spare clothing, I even actually have a pair of shoes back here in my laptop section, socks right here, and then these spare like brand new pair of Toms just in case emergency set of shoes. That despite having all that wardrobe, like I said, and the toiletries, I still have this Max Vision bottle holder right here that I have actually an Army Tech Barracuda disassembled. And you can also perhaps put your camera equipment inside, and you can take this onto an airplane. And Barracuda for me is a great travel companion because it's legal to carry. It can both intimidate people with its blind power and also be used as a baton for self-defense. Stick fighting is amazing, and even in history, there's proof of islanders successfully fending off, invaders with swords using short sticks. A person could opt for some of those 2000 and up lumens, lights, and that would fit in here too if you really were thinking about lighting and camera equipment. Owning a Hazard 4 gear has always been a positive experience because for me there's always some way I can make it fit into whatever role I have in mind. I have the Revell, which is supposed to be a toiletry bag, but I ended up using that actually as my car emergency kit. And the Hazard 4 evac Plan B I've used in my backpacking trip for like 2 weeks, and I've also used it hiking now. It's my camera equipment bag. And in my opinion, the Switchback is a bug out bag or maybe a vacation carry-on. One set of clothes, maybe just a jacket inside in case you get cold. But filling the bag with what I use for traveling, which is all those contents you saw, and carrying it as my only piece of luggage, it's just a little too bulky to feel good with just only one shoulder strap. It'll fit everything my Plan B did, Same setup if you go watch that video, but I'm not sold on this being the most effective method. But for EDC, I feel like there's two options. If you have a lot of gear, a duffel or brief style bag is better because it's easier to take to your car and set in your trunk and behind your seat. The Switchback does have this little strap right here, so it's kind of like you need to just go transfer it somewhere. But I think it's something mental that there's something about a briefcase, you know, and you not having to have to put it over your shoulder every time, you know, over your clothes. And it's better than awkwardly holding it this way or by these handles. It just seems more suitable for that purpose of going from car to home. Most likely for EDC, you're not actually going to walk around with a fully loaded bag. And if you want to do that, then you're already going all out. So what's the difference if you carry the duffel in your hand, or wear it as a messenger, compared to having this fully packed Switchback on your back? You know, all of those are going to be cumbersome. If you do keep it low profile though and slim down, and you're just using it for maybe a day out, for example right now if I were to keep these retention straps more tightly, this bag would kind of more shrink towards my body, then I would say it's a good option for like school and those kind of things. But for other roles, there's no real spots to situate any kind of weapons for concealed carrying. You only have that admin pouch and then the main body pocket. If you get ingenuitive, there might be a way you can like situate it and strap it into the main compartment, so you put your hand in, you could get something. Just some ingenuity. But like I said, on long hikes, backpacking cross country, it's not really designed to work with your inevitable fatigue unless you modify it by attaching another cross strap. Now the Plan B is built initially better for this because the strap can be connected to the different sides. But with this modification, the Switchback is fine because, again, it has all these little details all over it, and it has this carabiner point right here. So if you get, it has available spare shoulder straps for their messenger bags like the Ditch model. If you seriously want to travel or you're thinking climb or hike, then this X set, which is similar to like a racing harness, will really help with stability and help with fatigue. So if you like wearing your gear on your back and want a flat pack setup that you're not planning on perhaps overloading, that you want to also be able to keep an eye on in the crowds, then the Switchback definitely will satisfy. The Switchback right now is an uncertain territory for me. I like it because it definitely feels to have more quality and attention put into all the compartments, where all the different mounting points are. You can add those accessories like that divider in the main compartment. But I know how well the EVAC Plan B works for traveling, which is my main goal with these bags. Being able to EDC these and carry them as like a bug-out bag from my car to home, that's just an added plus. As is, the Switchback is a great light packed backpack for simple days out, for civilians, you know, both in modern and outdoor environments. But it's only a good backpack for more serious situations, especially when it's fully packed, if you add this cross strap. I would think that if you had to choose between a normal backpack with two straps, or using this one, which you can sling to the front, or use an X strap cross, I think that's going to be personal preference. Definitely this one is an interesting product, an interesting design. So right now, between using the EVAC Plan B, which you can go see that video on that I have, or this Switchback, I'm actually most interested in the Ditch model because when I'm not traveling, I'd rather carry a briefcase to my car and have it sit nicely in my trunk or behind my car seat. And the Ditch, if lightly packed, would work as a messenger bag on a day out, just like the Switchback. I always buy these products, review them, and then realize just how awesome they are, and then I want to promote them and carry them and let other people see how cool they are. So this and the EVAC Plan B are definitely great products, and so far, like I said, Hazard 4 has done a great job with all their gear. Thank you.